Here is an uncomfortable truth about most Singapore businesses right now. You are probably already paying for AI. Your staff are probably already using it every single day. And your company is still getting almost none of the real value that AI can actually deliver. It is not because the tool is weak. It is not because your team is lazy or doing anything wrong. It is because your whole business is stuck at what I call level 0, and almost nobody has bothered to show you that a level 1 even exists. Once you can see the gap between those two levels, you cannot unsee it. And you will finally understand why, even after bringing AI into the office, the hours in your week never seem to add up. The good news is that the gap is not some deep technical wall. It is just a step that nobody has shown you yet. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly what that step is, why almost every small business is stuck on the wrong side of it, and how an ordinary owner with no technical background crosses over to the other side. What level 0 looks like. Level 0 looks completely normal. Someone on your team opens a browser tab, goes to a chat window and types in a question. The AI types something back. They read it, they copy the part they want, they paste it into a document or an email, they fix it up by hand, and they move on with their day. The next time they need something, they open the same blank box and start all over again from nothing. It feels modern. It feels like the business is using AI, and in a narrow sense it is. But look closely at what is really happening here. The AI is being treated like a slightly smarter search engine. It cannot see your files. It does not know your customers, your prices, your past projects, or how your business actually runs day to day. Every single conversation starts cold, and every useful result has to be carried by hand, out of the chat window and into the place where the real work actually lives. The person is doing all the heavy lifting around the AI. They are the one opening files, finding the right numbers, pasting things in and cleaning up after. The AI just talks. It never actually touches the work itself. That is the quiet ceiling of level 0, and most teams never even notice it is there. Why your team stays stuck? So why does almost every SME stop here? Part of it is that level 0 is genuinely useful, just enough to feel like real progress. Your staff get faster answers, cleaner emails, quicker first drafts, and all of that is real. But useful is not the same thing as transformative. The deeper reason is simply that nobody ever told them there was another level to reach for. The browser chat box is the front door that everyone already knows, so that is exactly where everyone stops walking. They quietly assume that copying and pasting, rewriting prompts, and babysitting the output is just how AI works. It is not. That constant manual carrying, back and forth, is the hidden tax you are paying for staying at level 0. And because that tax is spread thin across dozens of tiny moments in the day, you never actually see the full bill, you just feel it. You feel that somehow, even with AI in the building, your team is still drowning in the very same tasks as before. You bought a power tool, but everyone is still using it like a sharper pencil. And the longer that goes on, the more it quietly convinces you that this is simply the ceiling of what AI can do for a business like yours. It is not the ceiling, it is just the ground floor, and almost everyone is standing on it together. Here is the shift that changes the game. At level 1, the AI stops living inside a browser tab and starts living inside your computer. That one change sounds small, and it changes absolutely everything. Instead of a person copying text out of a chat window, the AI can now open your real files and your real folders directly. It can read the spreadsheet, it can draft the proposal, it can rename the documents, sort the receipts, fill in the template, and hand you back finished work, not just advice about the work. You stop being the courier running between the AI and your files. The AI does the entire round trip itself. You ask for an outcome, and you get the outcome, sitting in the right folder, in the right format, ready for you to actually use. The conversation is no longer the product. The finished work is the product. What level 1 unlocks. Think about what that actually unlocks for a small business. The first thing you get back is time. Real hours, because all the copying, reformatting, and redoing simply disappears from the day. The second thing you get is fewer manual tasks trapped inside one person's head. When the work happens through the AI right there on the computer, you can write the steps down once and then run them again and again. And that points to the third and biggest thing of all, repeatable systems. Level 0 gives you one clever answer, one time. Level 1 lets you build something you can reuse every single week. the same way without ever starting over from scratch. A good answer helps you for an afternoon. A good system helps you for a year. That, in one line, is the whole difference between a tool that you visit when you remember to, and the tool that quietly works for you in the background. A simple example, let me make this concrete, and to be very clear, this is a hypothetical just to show you the shape of it. Picture a small renovation firm here in Singapore. Every week, the office receives a messy pile of supplier quotes by email, in all kinds of different formats. At level 0, a staff member opens each one, pastes the details into a chat window, asks the AI to tidy it up, copies the answer back into a spreadsheet, and then repeats that whole dance 10 more times. It works, but it quietly eats half a day. Now picture the same firm at level 1. The AI sits on that same office computer, opens the folder where the quotes are saved, reads each file directly, pulls out the supplier, the price, and the timeline, and writes one clean summary into a single spreadsheet ready for the boss to compare at a glance. Same job. But one version is a person babysitting a checkbox, and the other is a system doing the work while the person simply checks it. Now multiply that across quoting, invoicing, reporting, and follow-ups, and you can start to feel just how much capacity is hiding in plain sight inside your own week. And notice the second benefit. The renovation firm did not just save half a day once. They now have a way of doing this that works the same every single week, no matter who is in the office. The skill stopped living inside one busy person and started living inside the system. That is exactly the kind of quiet leverage that lets a small team punch far above its size. A name when's not technical. Now here is the part that stops most owners before they even start. You are probably assuming that level 1 means coding, or hiring a developer, or kicking off some big, expensive, scary project. It does not. Getting to level 1 is mostly about installing the right thing one time, and then pointing it at your real work. There is no programming involved. You do not need to understand how any of it works under the hood, in exactly the same way you do not need to understand an engine to drive a car to work. If the people on your team can already use a browser and open a folder, then they already have every skill they need to do this. The only thing standing between your business and level 1 is a short, clear, ordered set of steps that nobody has ever actually walked you through. So let me walk you through it. We put the entire path into a free, step-by-step course built specifically for owners, not for engineers. It takes you by the hand from level 0 all the way to level 1 without assuming any technical background at all. First, you install Claude, which is the AI itself. Then you set up a tool called Walk, which is simply the place on your computer where the AI is actually allowed to roll up its sleeves and do real work with your files. Then, and this is the exact moment it clicks for most people, you run your first real project, where the AI opens an actual file of yours and produces actual finished output. And finally, you make your first simple AI skill, which is really just saving one of these jobs so that you can run it again, anytime, with a single instruction. That last step is where you quietly cross the line from merely using AI to actually owning a small system that works for your business on demand. Your first real project. I want to be honest about how this feels, because it genuinely surprises people. The first time you watch the AI open your own folder, read your own file, and hand back the finished thing, there is this small but real moment where your whole idea of work quietly shifts. You stop asking yourself, what do I type into the box? And you start asking, what outcome do I actually want by the end of the day? That right there is the level 1 mindset. And once just one person on your team has it, it tends to spread to everyone around them. The course is built to get you to that first moment as fast as humanly possible, with nothing skipped and nothing assumed, so that even the least technical person in your entire office can follow along and finish with something real in their hands. Where to start today? So if your business is sitting at level 0 right now, paying for AI but still doing almost everything by hand, here is your simple next step. Head to aifirstasia.com/level1 and take the free course that walks you all the way from level 0 to level 1, one clear step at a time. It is genuinely not hard, and the difference waiting on the other side is real hours handed back to your week. And if you want more of exactly this, subscribe for practical AI workflows for SME owners. No hype, no buzzwords, just the kind of systems that actually move the needle for a small business. Your competitors are still copying and pasting. You do not have to be.